What's up everyone? Today I'm doing magic from HackTheBox. This was a medium Linux box created by TRX. For this box we use a SQL injection to bypass the web login and upload a malicious PNG file to get a reverse shell on the box. From there we find a database file and some credentials that let us pivot to the user theseus, and we escalate to root by exploiting a setuid binary that calls scripts with relative paths. So let's get started. Okay, we're going to start this box off with nmap sv sc oa, put it in the nmap directory and call it magic, and the IP address is 10.10.10.185. I've already run this, so let's take a look at the output. And we can see 22 and 80 are open. So let's go have a look at port 80. And we see a bunch of images and a login page. So let's check out the login page. From here, we could try logging in as admin, and we get a wrong username or password. We could try admin password. Same thing. So now we could start testing for a SQL injection by just doing like a single quote and then password, just to see if we get an error. And whenever we do that, we don't get the same error we got. So maybe the username field is injectable, and then we could also try it in the password field. So we could try admin and then a single quote and the password to see what happens there. And same thing, so maybe both of them are. So a way to test for that, or I guess if we don't put anything in, there's no error either. But we could try a SQL login bypass. Oh, I have my proxy on. Okay, proxy's off. Okay, so we could look for like a SQL login bypass cheat sheet. And take a look at this one. And there's a pretty good list of things we could try. So this one is saying pretty much this is the username, maybe there's a quote, and we're closing it. This is another SQL statement that we're going to leave open-ended without a last quote because there's already one that exists, so it should close it out for us. So, and this one is just saying this will pretty much evaluate to true if it is injectable, because it'll have the query and then or and then 1 equals 1, which 1 does equal 1. So we could try admin here and then this part in the password field to see if we can bypass this login. And it allows us to log in. So from here, we could try to upload an image. I'm going to turn the proxy back on. Okay, and I'm going to bring over burp. Okay. So from here, we could upload an image. I am just going to use scrot test.png, and we're just going to grab a tiny bit. That way we have a valid image. And then, so now we have an image. Okay, so we could try to upload this. Upload. Oh, whoops. Okay, well, it looks like it says JPEG and PNG are the only ones allowed. So we need to actually select an image to upload. Okay, so we'll try to upload this. And it looks like test.png has been uploaded. We'll try to intercept that request and see if we can play around with it. Okay, so I'll send this to repeater. And we know that this one was valid, so I'm just going to rename this valid. Send that. It says 200 OK. The file has been uploaded. So if we mess around with this and get rid of this, but leave the top part, is it still valid? it says it'll still upload it, so that's cool. Can we play around with the content type? Maybe change this to application PHP. Then that. It says it's been uploaded, so we can change the content type, which is pretty cool. Can we change the file name? Looks like we can. So maybe we can add in some PHP code here. Like maybe PHP system get cmd. Like that, and maybe we can upload this. And it looks like we can. So now we just need to find this file. So we could probably use ffuf for this. So I'm gonna open up a new pane and we'll just run ffuf in the URL, which is http 10.10.10.185. And what we're gonna fuzz, which is these directories back here, and the word list we wanna use, we can just do user share word list, dirbuster, directory list 2.3 medium, and let that run. And it finds an image directory, so maybe that's where those images are housed, and an assets directory. So that's a 301, so if we go check it out, maybe it'll redirect us. Turn the proxy off, or the intercept off, and it's forbidden. So maybe there's something behind this that we could fuzz, so let's kill that, and then we'll come back and change this to images and test behind images. And we get an uploads. So if we go to uploads, we could do test.php.png, and we found our file. So from here, we can try to pass it a command, see if it gets evaluated, cmd equals who am I? And it sure does. So we've got code execution on the box, so we want to get a shell out of this. So let's hit up pentest monkey. Here, I need to turn this off. Okay. And we know that there's PHP in the box, so maybe we could try the PHP one. And 1234 is fine. We'll swap this to our IP, which is 10.10.14.59. And we'll set up a listener on 1234. Enter. And we didn't get a connect back, so that shell's not going to work. So we'll just go down the list until we find one that works. We can try old reliable netcat without the -e flag. (10.10.14.59) is my IP, and 1234. Test that one out. We still didn't get a callback though. Maybe if I put this in quotes. Still nothing. Okay, so maybe there's no netcat on the box. You know what we could do instead, maybe? We could just keep trying these. We'll try bash. (10.10.14.59) and 1234. And our file's gone, so we need to re-upload it. Looks like maybe something's wiping it away. So we'll resend this. And our file's back. Did we get a shell? Did not get a shell. Okay. So maybe what I can do is grab a PHP shell from user share, I think it's LaudEnum, and then php-reverse-shell, which is the big one, right? Yeah, okay. So if we modify this, come down here, and set our IP address, 10, 10, 14, 59, and port 1234, maybe we can just kind of upload all of that to the file. So we'll go into HTTP, write-ups, magic, copy, user share, LaudEnum, PHP, php-reverse-shell here, cat it, grab all of this, just kind of remove this and paste that in and see if we can send that. And it looks like it might have worked. So let's try that. And it looks like we got our shell back. So we're on the box. Who am I? I am www.data. Where am I? Root. Interesting. Okay, so let's check where we were. Var www on the server. And we have a magic and an HTML directory. Let's see what's in both of those. In magic, it looks like we have assets at image, but we also have a db.php file. So let's go check that out. And in here, looks like we have a db username and a db password. So we could look at users on the box by just cat etsy password. We could look to see if Theseus is on here by grepping for it, and it looks like he is a user. So if we cat that db.php5 file again and take a note of this, maybe we can switch over to the user. So if I tried to su for switch user over to Theseus from a terminal. Okay, so do we have Python on the box? We don't have Python. Do we have Python 3? Yes, we do. Okay. Oh, okay, so we need that shell back. Okay, so from here we can Python 3 -c import pty, pty.spawn, then bash, control, and then control Z, stty raw -echo, type foreground or fg, hit enter twice, and now we have a better shell. Now can we switch users over to Theseus? Password, I am King Theseus. And it looks like maybe that's not working. Try it again, just for good measure. And it looks like it's not going to work. Maybe we could, I mean, if it's not letting us log in, I doubt it's going to let us SSH in. Nope, we have to have a key. So we could add a key if we were the user Theseus. So what else can we do with this? Well, the file name was db. Why is my shell not working? Did something happen to the box? Okay, the box is down. Give me a sec, I'll go restart it. Okay, the box came back. So, get rid of this. Do we still have our shell? Does not look like it. So, we'll start a new one. Come over here, resend our request. Sent. Get our shell back. Cool, got our shell. So, what I was saying is the name of that file was db.php, so we could netstat and see if we are running 3306, which we are, MySQL. So we could maybe use that password, I am King Theseus. I guess I didn't save that note file. Okay, there we go. We could use this password maybe to authenticate against MySQL. So we could MySQL -u theseus -p. MySQL is not found. Find, or we can just. So we have mysqldump, which we could use. So mysqldump -u theseus. I think this is how you use this. And then password. mysqldump options database, all databases. Okay. mysqldump minus all databases. Options. Access denied for user. Man mysqldump. Oh, it doesn't like that because we are in a weird terminal. Okay, I'm looking for user. So the options, login, path name. So we probably just specify user with -- user. So mysqldump, all databases, -- user, theseus, -- password, I am King Theseus. Try that. Why doesn't it like that? Do I have it on here? Nice. Okay, so we would need the equals since we're using, or we could just do -u. mysqldump minus all databases -u theseus -p. Unknown option, all data. Oh, I can't spell. Okay, let's try this one more time. mysqldump minus all databases -u theseus -p. Cool. I am King Theseus. And it looks like we definitely got some output. So let's go look and see if there's anything interesting in here. Okay, so current database is magic. Login. We have admin and Theseus was king. So maybe that's his password. And that's probably also the login for the original login that we did on the web page. So let's try this. And then we'll go into our notes real quick. Edit. Okay, save that. Okay, see if we can switch over to Theseus. I guess we'll need a full shell again. So Python Python 3 -c import pty.spawn bin bash. Got a better shell. Switch over to Theseus. Password. It's on our clipboard. and we're Theseus. So we can read home Theseus user.text. Yeah, we can. Okay, so now we're looking for a way to get to root. From here, we could see if we can run sudo as anyone, or as it run sudo at all, and we can't. So that's out. We could see what groups we're in. Users and Theseus, that's it. Nothing good here. So we could start looking for maybe interesting files that are readable or writable, that are maybe owned and run by root would be a good place to start. So we could look for any files on the box, looking from the root directory down, where the user bit is sticky. I think that's how you do that. And then we'll just send all the output to dev null. And if this isn't right, it might just be u equals s, like that. And then we'll also want to specify type as file, u sticky, all errors to dev null. It didn't like that at all. Okay, so there is got nodes privilege escalation. He has a Linux one too, I believe. Yeah, and there's some really good references for finding files in here. So we're gonna look for, can we find system files? It's -u. So that's close. Okay, so find, starting in the root directory, looking down, type file, -u is s, 2 into dev null. Why does it hate that? Okay, so that worked. Here, minus type file, 2 into dev null. We're gonna have to probably restart the shell after I run this because it's gonna take forever. Yeah, so okay, so find is working. Oh, I have to switch back over to Theseus too. Oh, that's annoying. And I have to resend my shell because it got wiped out. Okay. Python -c import Python 3 -c import pty.spawn and bash. Good. Okay. Switch over to Theseus. I think it's still on my clipboard. Yes. Okay. So looking back over at this, I'm not really sure what oh, perm. I forgot the perm flag. Okay. So we'll just do this. Look for any setuid files. Looks like there's some. We can do this again and then get rid of anything in snap. So we'll just invert grep for snap because we don't want those. Okay, so now we have some better things to look at. Do we have anything that looks interesting that's not standard? We see bin sysinfo. So if I were to go look at bin and then look at sysinfo, it looks like it's run as root, executable by users, so we can just run sysinfo, and it looks like it just gets a bunch of stuff. So from here, it looks like it's running some commands. This is the output of the command free. So we could just look to see what this file is doing with strings, and then go look to see if we see free. we see some p opens, and this is what was being printed, and it looks like it's cat proc CPU info fdix minus l ls show or ls hardware minus short and free minus h. The problem with this is they're not being called with the full path, and the reason that is important is because if we look at path, the system will look here first for anything that's called immediately. So for instance, if I go to my home directory and I run sysinfo, it's going to run that sysinfo command, right? However, if I run echo hello into sysinfo like this, okay, it didn't like the way I did that. Oh, and I exited the... One sec, let me get my shell back. Okay, got the shell back. Okay, so from here, if I echo hello like that, and put this in a file called sysinfo, and then chmod plus x sysinfo, and then if I say, so my current path is going to look for, or I should have echoed path, echo path. Okay, so the system's going to look for sysinfo when I run it first in user local bin, then in user local s bin, then user s bin, then user bin, and that's where it finds the one that's actually on the box, right? But if I said export my path as, or path equals my path, right? But at the beginning, I put home theseus, and then my path, like that. Now when I run sysinfo, it runs that echo hello. So, and the reason is because it looks here first. So when because it's calling from a relative path, that's bad. Because we could do something like this. We could echo bin bash into free chmod plus x free, and now when we call that script, it's going to look where we are at currently for free first. So if I ran bin sysinfo, it's gonna run free when it gets to it in the script, and it's gonna look here first. So let's try it. So when it hit free, instead of actually running the free command, it just dropped us into bin bash, and now we are root. The output is kind of funny, looks like, so we'll do a reverse shell. And we know that Python 3 is on the box, so we can just grab this. Go change our IP address. 10.10.14.59. Copy that. Set up a listener. Come up here. Python 3. Paste it in. And we get a connect back. Now who am I? And we're root, so now we have a root shell. Go into root. And we can read root.txt. Root.txt. So yeah, so that's pretty much the box. I hope that y'all liked it, and I'll catch you next week.